Hi everybody, well the release trailer for Battlefield 2042 has just dropped on YouTube. So in this video what I'm going to do is I'll do a bit of a reaction to the trailer at the end of this video. But to start off with, we're going to talk about the release date, the costs, what you get in the different versions. There's an interesting article on the PlayStation blog that we're going to go through that gives us a bit more info, and then at the end we'll do a reaction to the trailer. So first things first, release date. Well, it depends on which version of the game you get. There's going to be three versions, well, at least three versions. There's the standard, gold and ultimate edition, and the gold edition and the ultimate edition both give you early access to the game. So the normal release date will be October the 22nd 2021, and you get that if you buy the standard edition. Now that is going to give you early access to the open beta, and it's going to give you a knife and a weapon charm and a player card background and an old guard tag. Now if you buy the gold edition, you'll get early access to the open beta, and you'll get early access to the game launch as well, and that will get you in on October the 15th. And you'll also get the year one pass with 4 new specialists, 4 battle passes and 3 epic skin bundles. So that kind of indicates that over the year there's going to be 4 battle passes, very similar to Call of Duty. So that's good. That's good. So that kind of indicates we're not going to have maps hidden behind a season pass or anything like that. Everybody's going to get the new maps, and you just have the battle pass probably for cosmetics and maybe a few weapons. I wouldn't be surprised if they put a few weapons behind the battle pass, but not the maps. And also the gold edition is cross-gen, so you'll be able to play on your Xbox One and your Xbox S or X, or your PS4 and PS5. If you shell out for the ultimate edition, you'll get in on October the 15th, early access to the game launch, early access to the open beta, and you get the other stuff, the year one pass, the 4 battle passes, and you'll also get the Midnight Ultimate Bundle, the official digital art book, and the exclusive digital soundtrack, which sounds very good, doesn't it? But let's see how much these things cost. So let's look at PlayStation first in the UK. So the standard version for the PlayStation 5 will be £60. Okay, £60. The standard version for the PlayStation 4 is £60 as well, so they're the same. If you buy the gold edition, this is the one that is cross-gen, so it will work on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. It's £90. Remember, that gives you the year one pass and the early access to the game launch. And then the ultimate edition, get ready for this, is £110. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So let's look at PlayStation in America. Let's see what we've got. So the standard edition for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 is $60. And then here we got the gold edition, which is cross-gen and gives you the year one pass, is $99.99, $100. And then the ultimate edition is $120. Right, let's look at Xbox. So Xbox do it a little bit differently, actually. So the standard version for the Xbox One is £60. However, if you've got an Xbox Series X or S, you've got to pay another tenner. It's £70. Now, if you've got EA Play, it is a little bit cheaper, but that's very strange, that. So it's £60 if you've got an old Xbox One, but if you've got one of the newer consoles, you've got to pay another tenner. Not sure about that. So the gold edition is £90. That's the one that's cross-gen and comes with the year one pass. And the ultimate edition with the soundtrack and the digital art book is £110, which is that cheaper than the... I know it's the same price as a PlayStation. Okay, so let's have a look in America. So in America, the standard version is $60 for the Xbox One, $70 for the Xbox X and S, $100 for the gold edition, which is cross-gen and has got the year one pass, and $120 for the year one pass, cross-gen, and those other extras. So this isn't cheap. This isn't cheap. What I do quite like, though, is if we go back, it does say early access to the open beta. So that tells me that we're going to it is an open beta, so we're all going to be able to try Battlefield 2042 multiplayer without having to buy it, which I think is very, very important. Because I don't know about you, but I felt very burnt by Battlefield 5, very disappointed by that, and I really want to I'm going with Battlefield 2042 with trepidation. I'm not looking forward to it in the way that I was looking forward to Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 before it actually came out. Obviously, love Battlefield 1. So we're all going to get to try it. Now, hopefully as well, one of the good things may be, if you have an Xbox and you've got Game Pass, which includes EA Access, or whatever it's called, you might also get early access to the open beta as well through that. And normally what you get through that as well is you normally get like a 10-hour preview of EA games as well. So that might be one of the better ways of using that. And the fact that you can use EA, we'll have to see anyway, but you use your EA Play to get into the early access to the open beta. Everybody's got access to the open beta, and then you can use the 10-hour preview. We'll have to see if it works like that. So Battlefield, not a cheap game. It is good that they're using 4 battle passes over the year to kind of monetize the game, rather than going for loot crates or hiding content behind a paywall. So, but it's not cheap. So now this drops as well today. Battlefield 2042 on the PlayStation blog, and this goes into quite a lot of detail. So here we go. First things first. EA has revealed the next iteration of its massive multiplayer shooter series, Battlefield 2042, launches later this year on October the 22nd, with development handled by DICE, Criterion, DICE LA and EA Gothenburg, coming to both PS4 and PS5, and Xbox One and Xbox X and S and PC. It continues the series' ambitious trajectory of incorporating cutting-edge tech to increase the size and density of its sandboxes, while retooling and expanding its vast armory of gameplay modes and mechanics. It boasts one of the biggest maps in the series to date. The real-time unpredictability of extreme weather systems that tear through the front line, enhanced terrain deformation, and on PS5, 128 player count per match. Now, this is the PlayStation blog, so they're saying on PlayStation 5, maybe on Xbox Series X as well, maybe on Xbox Series S. I'll be happy with 64 players, to be honest. This is DICE's proprietary game engine, Frostbite, flexing all new processing muscle acquired in the 2 or so years since the last entry, Battlefield 5. It also marks the franchise's return to near modern day. The real-world yet fictitious setting pictures a what-if scenario of societies crumbling in the face of violent climate changes and diminishing resources. Stateless soldiers, no patch specialists, now fight on behalf of the remaining superpowers. The setup is close enough to today to be recognisable, but far enough in the future to include advanced arsenals and destructive weather patterns. Fitting though with the series' 20th anniversary coming up, that EA offers a nod, unintentional or otherwise, to franchise starter Battlefield 1942 in its selection of year. Okay. All-Out Warfare's Conquest and Breakthrough. There are 3 gameplay pillars, experiences to 2042. Only 2 have been named. Of that pair, only All-Out Warfare is the focus of this first look, debuting with a duo of familiar modes. Hazard Zone, as well as the mystery third pillar, in development at DICE LA, which is going to be the Battle Royale, isn't it, you would have thought. We'll get their full reveal at a later date. DICE reinforce Hazard Zone is something all new for the franchise, a modern take on multiplayer that's high-stakes squad-based game type. The studio is emphatic in stressing it isn't a Battle Royale mode. Okay, fair enough. As ever, there'll be a fleet of vehicles to jump into during matches. Players will have access to a call-in tablet, letting them request a land-based vehicle anywhere on the map. They can be deadly even before you hop in. DICE example, pinpointing a tank to land on an enemy sniper position. So, those 2 all-out warfare modes. Conquest has 2 teams duking out on the huge space, with epic clashes and more personal frays playing out in pockets across the map. Breakthrough also drops 2 opposing sides into a single location, but is more guided. Maps are divided into sectors, in which there are multiple capture points. Attacking or defending sides need to hold points to flip sectors and shift an ever-moving front line in their favour. Want time to get adjusted to what's new and test things out? You can launch both modes with AI squad mates, and DICE confirms doing so still contributes to your overall progress. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So we're going to have single-player Battlefield with AI teammates. Wow, that's pretty good. So Conquest, of course, Conquest has to be the cornerstone of any Battlefield game. And Breakthrough well, it's operations, isn't it, from Battlefield 1 and grand operations from Battlefield 5, hopefully with a heavy influence of front lines. Because the thing about operations is they went one way, didn't they? But front lines will go both ways. And I think front lines in Battlefield 1, when they introduced it with the French DLC, was absolutely amazing. Love front lines. That's some of the most intense battles ever. Interesting. Maps and their dynamic events. A quick tour of both modes and some of the maps demonstrate DICE's approach to shaping a satisfying ebb and flow to battles. There's a look at locales based on real-world settings. Desert cities, tanker rigs, cragged mountaintops, the geography catering to different insertion methods and combat approaches. Go big with multi-vehicle combat spectaculars, keep it tense with close quarter combat and everything in between. Map-specific dynamic events are teased. Visibility altering sandstorms, a space rocket launch, destructive tornadoes. That last can be turned to your advantage with, as one example, the new wingsuits. If your specialist comes equipped with one, you can ride the wind, just beware of debris and vehicles snatched into the storm. A potent mix of on-the-fly tactics and strategies carefully considered, lowering or raising bridges, locking down cranes, managing doorways, are designed to keep you thinking and be hyper-aware of your surroundings. These dynamic world events will feature whichever console you play on. PS4 player count per all-out warfare match is 64, and subsequently PlayStation 4 maps have been built with a smaller, more focused layout in mind. Also, you're actually going to have different maps. Wow. All-out warfare launches with 7 maps total. Let's take a quick tour of those. Kaleidoscope, which is Sogdo in South Korea. This cityscape features dense roadways and skyscrapers that can be explored, or if you have a wingsuit, leapt off. It's here that a tornado that dwarfs the glittering buildings will make its presence known. Manifest, which is Branny's Island in Singapore. Supply lines are under threat in this key location for global trade. Orbital, which is in French Guiana. Players will battle in the shadow of a towering space rocket pad that's counting down to an imminent launch. Discarded. Clash around, through and on top of massive ship hulks and the surrounding cranes in India. Renewal, Eastern Desert, Egypt. Wrestle for control of an agricultural technology centre in the Egyptian desert. Hourglass, which is in Qatar. An approaching sandstorm will shift the tide of war taking place at the heart of a city. Breakaway, which is in Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. From hot deserts to icy landscapes, oil and gas are the key resources being fought over here. Insert on the mountaintops with the wingsuit and you can dive into industrial buildings below. Meet your specialists. Specialists are Battlefield 2042's different character types. Each comes with a unique speciality and trait. The former may take the shape of a grappling hook, for assault types only, a quick zip to high spots, OV-P recon drone, the mark of the recon, which can be piloted or parked to pinpoint targets, or S21 Siret pistol, handled by support, firing hellfiles at those who need them. Those nicely pair with traits. Assault types are known for their nimbleness, whereas a support specialist doubles as a combat surgeon, capable of fully restoring a comrade's health. Beyond those two unique abilities, specialists can be customised with whatever loadout you wish, giving you more freedom to create a playstyle that fits you. Battlefield 2042 will offer 10 specialists on launch. The Plus system, not shown, lets you customise your selected weapon without taking your eyes off the battlefield. A button tap will bring up a Plus-shaped UI menu over your weapon, showing what you currently own. Each segment is tied to a specific item type, scopes, barrel, ammo type, etc. Pick to equip. The road to launch and battle pass. We're marching towards the 4-month mark before launch, and most of what those weeks ahead hold we can only speculate on. 2 things are confirmed though. Pre-launch, players who pre-order can get an early taste of the game with an open beta. Details are yet to be revealed. Post-launch, Battlefield's 2042 first year promises 4 seasons of content, bringing with them 4 new specialists plus new locations. Each season is marked by a new battle pass. EA confirmed that new locations will be accessible to all players. For a first reveal, that's a lot to take in, yet plenty more to talk about. Look forward to more on Battlefield 2042 in the near future. So, interesting. So, yeah. A grappling hook, hey? Dynamic events on the battlefield, eh? Sound like a Canadian. Alright, so, let's watch the trailer now. I'm going to turn the sound off because I don't want to get a copyright strike. So let's watch some of it. So here we go. I don't know how well this will come across on the screen capture. So we now know this is Antarctica. So this is the South Pole. And what we see here is this is the first use of the wingsuits, isn't it? Where this, I'm pretty sure that's a lady, that, and yeah, thumbs up, squashed. Right, so they've got parachutes, so very Battlefield 4, and then you've got your wingsuit which you can deploy and fly around. Very good. So we know this is South Korea. There's a doggy. This gave me impressions of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. This with that thing. And here we have this. We now know this is India. That's a big oil tank or something that they're taking apart. And then they get squashed. This all looks. Remember, this is just all pre-rendered, isn't it? This is like it's just a cinematic. The soldiers, I like the equipment. Looks pretty normal stuff. These guys get killed. And then this is back to Antarctica again by the look of it. So we've got hovercraft, fun. And then we've got that super fast tank. Wasn't that in a G.I. Joe movie, that tank? And then we've got, this is the map. This is French Guiana. So this is the rocket that's taking off. That'll be quite a spectacle, won't it? And then we're in that city that I can't remember. Is this back in South Korea, is it? So we've got these helicopters fighting each other. And then somebody, yeah, probably put C4 on the quad, drives it into the helicopter to blow it up. Oh, right, okay, so yeah, this was interesting. So this bit here where the guy jumps out of the jet and then uses a rocket launcher to destroy the other jet, this is a homage to something that you could actually do, and people did actually do in Battlefield 4 multiplayer. You would go straight up if you were being chased, and you could eject, fire. There's a couple of famous clips of people doing it. I'm a bit miffed that they're showing this in a cinematic trailer, because you know the beauty of it in the multiplayer was the fact that somebody actually did this, you know. Yeah, okay, so I guess maybe what they're saying there is saying, look, the battlefield moments, you're going to be getting them again. You're going to be getting them. And then we've got various explosions. Oh, this is where the tornado turns up in Korea, isn't it, and sucks everybody up. And the luckily one of the soldiers has got a wingsuit on, so they can escape and then fly around. There we go. Battlefield. Where's the wingsuit? There we go. On the wingsuit. Dunk. So, there we go. I guess, you know, what do we take away from this? The important thing to remember is it's just a reveal trailer. It's all cinematic. It's all pre-rendered. We can't really make any firm decisions about anything until we get into the open beta to actually give it a go. I'm pleased. I'm pleased that there's a new Battlefield coming out. I am a little bit nervous about the location and the time. I would have rather had it, you know, now. You know, let's have it, you know, with what's going on now, or in the past. I wouldn't have minded if they'd revisited World War II actually again and maybe did it right this time, or even went back to World War One, or even Vietnam, or something else like that. Because what we're really going into Battlefield 4 territory, aren't we? With this sort of stuff that we're seeing. It all comes down to, with Battlefield though, the gunplay and the gameplay and the maps. If we think back to, you know, the most popular Battlefields, Battlefield 1 for me was the greatest Battlefield. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I felt it was incredibly cinematic, incredibly immersive. They treated the subject of World War 1 with great respect, and I had some amazing times in there with buddies, and I had a great time. Battlefield 4, loved Battlefield 4, but it was kind of a little bit, I came in late to Battlefield 4, but it was a really cool game, amazing maps. You had, in Battlefield 1 you had things like the behemoths would come in, wouldn't they, halfway through the battle, so you'd have the airship that would come in, or the train, or the battleship. In Battlefield 4 we had buildings falling down, or we had areas being flooded. We had dams collapsing. Battlefield 3, I didn't play much at all, but you had lots of buildings that could blow up. And then Battlefield 5, unfortunately, didn't bring that much to it. Battlefield 5 had really cool gunplay, but the maps were terrible, and there wasn't very much content, and they really screwed up. The Battle Royale Firestorm, which was very, very disappointing. But I think the problem with Battlefield 5 was it didn't have enough time in development. So now we've got Battlefield 2042, where it was 2 years ago, so it's not that long for a Battlefield game in development, but hopefully Battlefield 2042 was in development a long time before that. We can only really just hope that some of the developers, some of the brains and the artists behind Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 have been involved in this, and we've got to see, we've got to see. We have these amazing maps that are cinematic experiences that give us those Battlefield moments, that give you those chills down the back of the neck as you are playing, just like Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1 did, which Battlefield 5 did occasionally, but there wasn't enough of it. So there we go, there's the release trailer. I guess I'm probably, I'm on the fence. I'm going to wait and see. I'm not getting on the hype train for this at all. I definitely don't recommend anybody pre-order this. Wait until the beta, and then even then, when we've played the beta, they'll give us probably one of the best maps for the beta, so maybe even wait till it comes out to buy it. There we go. What do you think, though? Put your questions and comments down below, and I will, of course, see you again soon.